Jump to this story here. I saw this tweet, and I'm just assuming it's true. I don't know when it's posted today. Florida State Senator, what is this? At Governor Gone Wild. Who's this? Blaise Ingoglia, Florida Senator, past chairman of Florida GOP, files a bill to decertify any political party whose platform ever supported slavery. The bill is titled the Ultimate Cancel Act. Mic drop. I agree. Do you all in favor of?
I thought mic drop was in the name of the act. I was like,
all in favor of decertifying any political party who ever supported slavery. Say aye.
Hear, hear, Tim.
Aye. Aye. All right. Well, okay. Let's go through the list of major political parties and see which ones are stricken. We have Republicans. They're good, and then we have Democrats, and they're out. And that's the list. Okay. All right.
The Green Party is like, here we come. This is us.
Everyone moves over.
Now's a chance.
I agree with this bill actually 100%, and it should. If they're going to go tear down statues, then let's get rid of the Democratic Party. There we go.
I like that in most public high schools in America, they'll teach you, oh, well, actually, it was Republicans. It's just that the parties changed names or something. Like they twist the logic so intensely to make it be like, well, it couldn't be Democrats. Democrats would never.
I mean, there are still people alive today who are Democrats and Klan members, but that's besides the point.
No, they don't acknowledge
Still
them.
alive today?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long ago was it where, I mean, this was like the 60s, 70s. Yeah. I mean, the Klan still exists.
Yes.
Many of these people probably are no longer Democrats, for sure. I mean, but you'd be surprised. There have been white nationalists who have come out and talked about how the Democratic platform is good, and then they explain all the things that typically Republicans complain about, like the Democrats destroying the black family and things like that. So, yeah, you get it.
Didn't Richard Spencer endorse?
Yeah, Richard Spencer's a big Biden guy right now.
Yeah. He was too, I think, in 2020. He was for Biden, not Trump.
Yeah,
he says because Trump didn't do the things they thought he was going to do, he wasn't that guy.
Exactly. Anybody that's for physical removal there's got to be a big government to go along to do the removing. Like anybody that's like Spencer used to be pro, removing people and stuff.
He likes authority.
Yeah,
so does the Democratic Party.
Yeah, you don't get.
I don't know about all that. I'm just saying, Antifa went around and BLM went around tearing down statues that not even like. They tore down a statue of Hans Christian Heg, who was an abolitionist who died fighting to free slaves. So, okay, I guess, whatever. I don't know what they're... But if they're all about this, then I think they'd agree with us, right? We can, get Antifa to get on board with this bill, and we'll get rid of the Democratic Party.
This is such a power play. I love it, because then the Democrats will have to say, no, like...
I want to see how many other states...
No, wait, don't. Yeah, that's us.
I want to see how many other states introduce it, because sometimes when this happens, 4 or 5 other state legislators pick it up, it gets some momentum.
Got to make some phone calls to West Virginia.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, we'll talk to, we're going to be, I think the plan is to be at Congress again this Friday. Big old Congress party.
This Friday?
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but I think we're going to be there. I'll make sure to bring this up to all of them. Like, hey, you guys want to do the Condemning Slavery Act or something like that? And then it's to publicly denounce and reject any political party that's ever supported slavery.
We'll start making picket signs as soon as the show's over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. It's the Ultimate Cancel Act, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
The ultimate.
Can you imagine coming out against this act? No, I think we're okay.
What they'll try and do is amend it to be like Recognizing the Failures of America Act or something like that. And then what they'll do is they'll be like, it's not the Democratic Party, it's all America. And then the Republicans have to counter and be like, actually, we were the ones who wanted to get rid of the slavery, so, sorry.
Remember that whole war thing?
Yeah, that was you guys, and just trying to change your name doesn't change anything. Not only that, but like people always rag on the Young Turks because their name is like the Young Turks, which was a genocidal group of people, and it's like imagine naming your media organization the Hitler Youth is basically what the Young Turks did. But like think about the Democratic Party. Then like the Democratic Party is the organization that represented slavers and slavery. If you're going to be critical of the Young Turks, so you certainly got to be critical of the Democratic Party title, right?
Yeah.
Fine with me.
And they can't really like pull a Washington Redskins / what are they, the Commanders now? Like it's not like they can be like, well, now we're the
and their mascot's a pig.
Now we're the Confederates.
I love that the mascot for the Washington Commanders is a pig.
Yeah, it's terrible. Who was in charge of any of this?
Do you guys not wow?
Oh, someone is either super ironic or they just missed it completely.
There's a savvy meme lord who worked for that company who was like, "This is going to be the greatest thing ever."
This is the most hilarious thing.
Apparently, there's something about there were players that were called the Hogs in the 80s, the offensive line or something like that, and so that's how the pigs are associated with the Washington
It's
team.
a stretch at best.
It's a big stretch, and you'd think that someone would be like, "Oh, why do we want to go ahead and call the Washington team, where the seat of power is?" And
at least be like a horse, right? That's like what commanders rode during the war.
You'd think.
Like I just don't understand.
I mean,
it has to be on purpose that they made this decision.
You can't file papers in these companies, these big companies, without there being oversight. And I know that there's a video out there of some board member or some employee that's in the corner filming the discussion they had, and I need to see it.
I love it.
I just can't imagine. I feel like the best part of this bill is that it's here. The sad part is that I don't think that it will survive. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll pass. If it does, I'd be happy to be wrong on this one. I think sometimes one of the coolest things about state legislators is that they just introduce things to prove a point, right? They say even though I know this won't make it out of committee, I think that we should talk about the fact that we haven't condemned this party.
Congress passed the anti-lynching bill just last year, and that is literally just for show.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point. So it's not just a state.
Decades after they probably should have, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't mean anything. I mean, with state, I think it's more interesting because then you have the conversation, right? Even if Florida doesn't pass this, we all recognize that perhaps we should condemn parties that had slavery as part of their platform.
Yeah, and we should provide funding to parties that opposed it. Guaranteed
again, the Green Party is here we go, I'm ready.
Well, I don't know. When is the Green Party founded? I don't think they've been around that long.
Post-slavery, so they've never had it in their platform.
That's a fair point. Democrats are just in trouble. They're a relic of a bygone era.
Libertarians are excited.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, right?
They've been around since the 70s, and they have always been opposed to slavery.
Oh, yes.
Can confidently say that.
I can very confidently
Can't say it if you're a Democrat.
that the Libertarian Party has always been opposed to slavery.
They should make the bill rejecting political parties that support slavery and supporting political parties that don't act. And then just being that leaves you Democrats. Green Party, you're all right. Republicans, Libertarians, Reform Party. Man, look at this huge list of Working Families Party. They're good. Democrats, no, you're on the no-no list.
The Tea Party will rise again.
Yeah.
Here they come.
It would be kind of interesting, though, if there couldn't be a Democratic Party. Would they just rebrand a la the whoever? Or would you get enough people bleeding out to have different factions of the party?
They would quickly consolidate around a person that has decided what the new party, probably Barack Obama.
Ooh, interesting.
It would be someone like Barack Obama that would say, okay.
You don't think Hakeem Jeffries is yes, we need to destroy this party so I can rise to the top?
I don't think that it'll even get to the point where it would pass in the U.S. But I imagine the circumstances would be they would coalesce around a person that comes up with a name for the new party, and they would reluctantly leave the DNC. But all the same people would go over because you're not getting rid of any ideas. You're just getting rid of a name.
I suppose in the longer run, if you can suppress ideas, then you will eventually eliminate them from the psyche, from the population, and that's the purpose of all the censorship they're engaging in.
That's the idea. I think that the whole if you don't have the words to articulate a thought, then you can't think the wrong things. I'd like the whole 1984 justification for Newspeak. That is something that's legit in practice nowadays. The reason that the LGBTQ political lobby demands that you say that a trans woman is a woman is because they're demanding that you conceptualize a trans woman and a biological woman as the same. They're making a demand on your cognitive liberty. And they're doing it by messing with the language that we use, with the meanings of words.
Right. This is what they did on the last Twitter board or the last Twitter people. They were banning the word groomer to call out predatory adults who were grooming children. And if you ban the words, then like you said, you're banning their cognitive ability to make assumptions and accurately assess people's behavior.
Yeah.
So
kind of feels like everything's falling apart a little bit. But it's okay because we have chickens. They're out doing their thing, and they give us eggs. And one of the chickens is brooding, one of the silkies. So what we do now is we're going to take a bunch of eggs from all the different chickens and put them underneath the broody silky, which will then hatch a variety, like a plethora of chicken varieties. So when it all comes crashing down, and you find yourself in a city fighting Agnes over the last can of beans in front of the bodega, I'm going to be sitting there with Roberto Jr. enjoying some fresh scrambled eggs.
See, I don't mind some turbulence, right? Like, I think having these issues in front of us makes us talk about them. I think that was one of the mistakes that some conservatives had for a while, which is to say, live and let live, which I agree with for the most part, but you can also say, I disagree. I don't believe in that. And I think for so long, sort of out of politeness, we were saying like, oh, everyone will just keep to themselves and we won't address things. And then you get to the point where it gets so out of control that you're asked, like, do you think it's okay for a teacher to tell a child that they're transgender and then not tell the parents? Like, we have to be willing to have the hard conversations, and especially if the opposition to these two hard ideas says basically, well, to avoid that, we'll take down monuments and we'll edit books and we'll change things so that we can just avoid these conversations. It makes us a weaker society if we can't deal with this kind of disagreement.
I think that this speaks to Matt Walsh's point and to Tim's point when he says that we need to be mean. I don't think that maybe mean isn't the best word, but pulling back from being frank when we describe things, it's detrimental to people's ability to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, you got to push it more than you normally would, I guess.
Yeah, if you've given up ground to progressives, we've given up so much ground that now children are literally being targeted for ideological,
You unplugged the UFO.
Oh no!
It's okay. I took out the UFO when I sit on that side table.
Yeah, but there's also an empathy, a true empathy for calling things the way they are. There's no niceness about calling these body positive people healthy when it's not. There's no positivity and there's no empathy in saying that these trans people that are mutilating themselves are healthy, because that is not leading them down fulfilled lives.
Right.
That is destroying them. And that's also the importance of, we need to build our own things. If we're going to actually combat the woke left, we can't just be reacting to them and we can't just be tearing them down. There is an importance to it because they have left and they've planted seeds and they have gone down and they have strong roots. But we also need to plant our own seeds. Like I said, if we want to combat this body positivity movement, you need to go to the gym, right? If we want to combat the taking down of statues, we need to make our own. If we want to combat the woke left's gender ideology, we need to make our own schools. We need to homeschool. And if we want to combat the end of the world, then we got to make our own chicken coops, right, Tim?
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.